Okay. Let's go to this home. All right, let me grab you the link right now, Woody. Podcast room. All right. And share. Boom. All right. I'm starting to share the link, Woody. If you see it, grab it. Ball out. All right, everybody. Welcome to my GC talks. We're going to be discussing today about everything that went on for everybody's GC, kind of getting you guys all updated on what's going around in our globes. We'll start off with 343, 379, 299, and 425. We'll discuss that first. If anybody wants to start the chat, considering I am not from any of those nations, and I'd love to hear the reactions on this.
I'm not seeing the link.
I just
Sorry.
posted it. It's inside Day Discord, like right in shit chat. You don't see it?
Am I the only one from 299?
Got it.
As of right now, I think so.
Oh no, that was asking a question. Oh, I am, huh?
Yeah, you are.
Shoot, hi. Okay. What's it called? I don't know anything. Just kidding.
You don't know anything?
I seriously don't. Like, I don't. I mean, the only thing, and I even commented on the, like, the Global Conquest chat. I was like, I don't know, but I was in Nikki's podcast, and Lead God just was like, "Oh, make sure you let the ladies know as a warning that I'm coming for them. I'm coming for $2.99." Like,
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, I'll pass the warning." And he's like, he just said, "I'm coming for $2.99. Make sure you let the ladies know. We're gonna make sure that $2.99 is not victorious." And it was like a threat, pretty much. And I was like, "All right, I'll take the threat. I'll go share it with my colleagues, my teammates and stuff, and we'll see what happens." Like, and I just posted a link about for my TikTok on the AO Discord, and where I just took the warning into consideration. I let my girls know, and that's kind of how it lead to whatever it led to. I have no idea, because I don't play with S&M. I play with San. So San only, if S&M tells us, "You guys take these 3 towers and maintain them," that's what we do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys were just kind of like holding it down, basically.
Yeah.
So you
We're
guys were
just
like
there to hold it down.
you were the
So
support
we
team.
got our towers we got our towers, we hold them down and hide. And then that's one thing that I was just make sure in my alliance, in our alliance, and when I talk to my R5s and R4s, is make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're all need to be hiding our troops, because Lead God is going to come and burn us. Like, he's going to try to keep us down. So make sure everybody's hiding troops. Make sure that we're not reinforcing each other. We're like not giving out points, pretty much, So like, if you're hiding your troops, do not reinforce the other person. If they didn't hide their troops, you were told don't have your troops inside your city. Either be sending them to the towers that we're holding down, and then have your main fleet going to where our leaders telling us to go to, and that's the way we had to strategize.
Okay. Well, 343 is here as well. Want to hear about 343's aspect of this?
We got Marcus in here too.
Oh, Marcus is here as well. Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Barry?
What's going on, Quack? How we doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right. So
I will. What's up?
I said, so what happened, man? Tell me all about it. Give me the deets.
I mean, you saw what my boy Violator put into the Woody's chat last night, between the conversation between Raz and
I'll get it.
LG. So that's part of the decision that went into it all.
Okay.
And then
So what exactly did this? I didn't see the screenshot entirely. So like, I've seen a few different ones. I'm not sure which one exactly you're speaking on. I would love to see it. You can post it in the podcast like chat over here on the right hand side when you move over. I'll take a
There you
look.
guys go.
All right, take a look over there. Open chat.
You guys still did them dirty, though. I'm just saying.
Gotta respect the hood on
I mean,
swing. All right, so what it says here is, I mean, talking with Raz, you know you kind of getting a bit of a troll, like a trolling
yeah,
vibe.
Raz. Oh, 100% Raz is a troll here. I'm looking for my other screenshots here. If I can find it.
So basically, what had happened was you guys, in the end of it, you guys made a deal with 299 to like help them win it, like
Yeah,
because
100%. I will say that. Yeah.
so like
And
thinking
here's the
379.
other.
All right.
Here's the other one I found here.
Okay. All right, that's pool rad. All right. So
So, I mean, whether they were joking or not, that creates intent. So if that, I mean, whether or not they didn't talk in private or not, they asked in the shit chat and creates intent, in my opinion.
I can get that, but I mean, if you see them in the first two rounds, not exactly fighting each other. I mean, if you see them that they're fighting each other, wouldn't that be like kind of like a, oh shit, all right, they're actually playing as like one? Wouldn't think like, hey, let's cancel this like truce and go for it each individually, try and go for a win.
Well, watching it, GFK while we were in round one did nothing but attack, and from what I was looking at in watching, there was GFK was on S&M the entire time. Yeah, they were hitting towers, and yeah, Poorad says he has, which is true. He has a lot of screenshots of them fighting in the energy sources. But when all of S&M is burning and nothing from Die was touched until we popped Marcus, and then Marcus started to hit us.
Which I gotta say was kind of messed up. You guys did a 2-nation hit on him.
It is kind of dirty, but I mean, fuck. Like, I can't even like that is it's such a tough situation. Like I feel like in finals you really got to go for it as a whole.
Oh,
Like
it's fine. I don't care about the hit, honestly. Like, what pissed me off was every time we took a tower from S&M, 343 would come and take it and then give it right back to 299. So, we all knew 299 was the strongest, but I expected every
Oh yeah,
nation to
100%.
fight for themselves. We expected everybody to fight for themselves and let them just win it, right? I would have had no problems with that. But in round one, it was so damn blatantly obvious that 343 would not let us have it, and they would let 299 take it from them every time. And I've never seen 299 hit 343. That's where I took objection. I didn't say anything. All I said after round one is 343 trying to help 299 win. That's all I said, because that's what it seemed like to me, right? And all these accusations that you guys are making about 379 having a deal with 429, I haven't seen anything, right? And I'll tell you, there was no agreement. I talked to the God. I said, hey, how do you think this is going to play out, right? That screenshot says nothing.
There's intent there. There's intent there.
Intent for what? Man. Intent for what? I am 379, right? And FPS is not what FPS was before. And I came over to WAW. They're the most active, right? We had no agreement with 425. 425 was hitting our towers. Yeah, they were burning 299. Well, that's on them, but there was no agreement to help 379 win this. You guys are admitting to it.
But I see no problem with that. I mean, yeah, cool. I'll admit to it. And the fun part is, and I'll say it right now, I approached 299 because I saw the screenshots and I determined there was intent. So there you go.
That's fine. It would not have changed anything in terms of the results, but I have no respect for 343 for doing that.
It's fine. It doesn't bother me.
So in the future, like the screenshot that you seen of Lee God saying that, Lee God, he's a very honest person. Like, even if you went up to and asked him, hey, are you guys planning on doing this? He'll tell you straight up right off the bat, even beforehand, yeah, we plan on doing this or not. It was just fucking around.
I mean, it's texting. Yeah, probably. Maybe I should have talked to him. But if that's the thing, if I'm watching between two people talking, then that, to me, that creates intent that 379 is going to get help.
All right,
and that's just me.
Let me ask you a question. In all fairness, like if you see the chat talking about it, yeah, wouldn't you be like, hey, is this like, are you guys being for real? Like, you guys really want to do this? I just want to know, like, for my own sake. Like, I would like to know if they're having a chat, an open public, a forum, especially like Day Discord. It's very open. Like, you can go in there, you can chit chat, you can say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, it's all there. You know what I mean? If they're having an open discussion there, if they're being open about their discussion there, they're willing to tell you if they're gonna do it or not. Because they like your 343 is in 343 and there's 299 members inside Day Discord. So why not just like ask, you know?
I mean,
without doubt,
solid,
you know,
it was 100% solid point. That's a solid point. Probably should have had the foresight to
Glow
ask.
4 nations against 2 Glow 5 nations, right? I would wanted us to win. If not, I would have wanted 425 to win. But 425 was in a tough situation against 3 merged nations, right? And I don't blame Lee God for being.
I mean, you're true, 100% correct, Marcus. But my big thing is, I would say comparatively, yes, we're merged. But if you go look at our alliance compared to everyone's world, NK Sale, huge spender, Kaya, huge spender, you, huge spender, Poolrad, huge spender, Lead God, huge spender. So if Lead God realistically was like, oh yeah, we'll help 379, he could probably get it done because of what.
But you should have seen in round 1 that really wasn't the case. Yeah, he was taking out his frustrations on 299, but he was not helping us.
Hello, did I cut out?
You did.
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. I was getting a phone call, so I said my goal was. I was also saying 343 doesn't have the whales to get a global finals done.
Well, so do a lot of other nations that actually won. What, 269?
I know that when it comes down to it, I mean, global conquest. It's from the first global conquest there is out there. I mean, there always is people that do team up. So don't get me wrong, you got to expect it going into it. But
it seems like it's coming to be like a more normal thing. Like I haven't seen like a finals in our globe actually go honest.
Those are rare.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I just think 299 would have won without it, and it would have been more fun, feeling like everybody was fighting for themselves. Like second round was awesome. It was like WAW and our academy DAD against 299 and their top 2, and we had a lot of fun. Like round 1 and 3, it felt like we were fighting, 2 nations. And it just was so blatantly obvious. 299 wasn't hitting 343, and 343 wasn't hitting them. And they were just taking towers away from us, and 299 would take it from them, or take it. I don't know if they're handing it out or not, but basically it was just as soon as we take it, it's gone.
Well, I mean, also too, we also didn't want 343 didn't also want you guys to win either. So, I mean, we would have loved to. I mean, in all reality, like whoever said Globe 4 versus Globe 5, That's what we kind of thought it is.
That's fine. That's
as
fine.
well,
All I'm
so.
saying is that do not make accusations that 379 had a deal with 425. We did not.
It's a fair statement. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the results. 2991. There was some deals. Deals happen lately more than people like to see. It's been rough, honestly. I feel like last one was too. Who was the last group that played for our globe?
Well,
429, 425, 442.
Yeah, that was right there because I was in the background while recording that one. That was straight up blatantly lock nations versus unlocked nations, and I mean they did team up.
Oh, if there's
I
lock
mean,
nations, by all means.
Yeah,
By all means, please
like,
team up.
even
Please.
the lock nations teamed up with each other.
Yeah, no, team up all day. I will say that much. Like if it's lock nations, I would hope that everybody in every single one of these nations, regardless of their beef, would team up against them.
and then I will say one thing about the whole global conquest thing. If you guys are upset with us, feel free to request us in Void or Frenzy. We'll give it our best. I know Marcus already beat us in one Frenzy, but we'll always fight you guys. So always an open door with you guys.
we have no problems doing that. What I objected to was you guys talking shit afterwards about beating towers and all of this stuff. Like that's because we were fighting 3 battles, right? You're fighting, just us. We were fighting SNM, SAN, and at the end of the day, I mean, you guys finished behind us. I mean,
that's fine. It wasn't. It's not. It's. I will still contend that it's still not 343's time yet. When it's our time, we will do what we need to do, in my opinion.
I gotta ask a question, Marcus. Now that you're in here, because we all seen the video that was posted of them you getting double dicked. Did you heal after that first hit, and then they hit you again? Like that's like that was a main topic in my last podcast.
yeah, I mean, I was ready to spend 2 million gold. I didn't spend a third of it for this global. So I mean, I walked away with. I wasn't even thinking I was going to rank number 1. I thought League God would take it 3rd round, but yeah, I was prepared. But I mean, to be fair, that first hit, my game crashed. I mean, it kept crashing over and over again.
Yeah,
And
that was one issue. That was really bad.
Burned once, but for 3 other times they tried to burn me, they lost a shitload of points. So I mean, I'm not upset about being burned. I mean, you got 63 people hitting you, and I can't bubble when my game crashes, and it is what it is. But I was ready to heal as many times as I needed to try to help my nation win. I knew this was the best chance that we had, so that's not a big deal. I didn't spend a fraction of what I thought I was going to be spending for global.
Yeah, I think global is one of the most expensive events, but it's the most wanted event.
Yeah, I had over 2 years of heals and over 2 million gold ready for this. So,
honest question for you, Marcus. After you came back from, how many heals did you have to burn to be able to get all the troops back? And after that hit?
Honestly, I don't even know. All I did was to heal that. I used gold, and it wasn't even that much. Like literally, it was an instant. I just used gold, and it came right back. And it must have been like 60,000 gold or something like that. It wasn't that much.
Goddamn. I hope one day that I'm gonna get my chance to be in there, and I hope it's just a straight fight. I really do.
Honestly, I never thought I would finish number 1. I thought League God would take it. So
congratulations!
Everybody's saying that I was. Yeah, thank you. That I was salty about this. I was actually really excited that I finally got a chance to do that.
That is amazing. An amazing feat. Even if you don't get the win, you at least get the number one. It's definitely pretty dope. It's an achievement in itself. How's the skin looking?
Nice. I took the snapshot.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Frame it up. Frame it up. Frame it up.
Frame it up. Take a screenshot. Throw it in the podcast chat. Let the world see it. Damn. Well, with that being said, is there any beef moving forward? Will there be some fucking... If there becomes a void, is it going to be vicious?
Whatever beef happens, it will be settled in void. I mean, whoever wins, wins, and whoever loses, loses. I know in my mind, 343 always stands against, especially Dive can stand against any of the, I would say, some of the best nations in this game, and I will continue to stand by that every time.
Fuck yeah, Marcus. Good shit. I'm looking at it now.
Nice. No, you guys are active. I give active. You credit for that. That's why I expected, like, this is how we predicted the rounds. I said round 1 is up for air. Round 2 will be 379 WAW against their 2 top alliance. And round 3, I thought it was going to be 343 against 425. And I knew 299 was going to be the strongest, but I thought 343 would be going all out fighting for themselves. So I was kind of shocked after the round 1, and then they kept saying, "Oh, we'll see you in round 2," which I knew they weren't going to show up.
So let me ask this: with all these being, all these freshly new merged nations that are coming at hand, do you guys think next season that the things are going to be mixed up? Like, all these new nations haven't got their chance to show what they have, really.
Yeah, I mean, this was our best shot, right? Because by next global, some of our active guys are going to be, leaving or slowing down. And the newer nations that merged are going to be super excited to see what they can do. So
I agree with Marcus there. But as usual, I mean, I know what we would do at Die. Bring it on, let's go. That's all it is. It's fun. I like at the end of the day, I think every event in some places can be fun, but I know for Die and my world, global is our thing. We enjoy it, and we will go after it.
Hey, for us, we always like Void the best because 379 wasn't always the strongest nation, but we would do well in Void because it takes more than just having strong cities. And the fact that it's a lost event, it always made things more interesting.
That's pretty much the only reason why I even enjoy Void is watching a C41 get popped and lose a few million troops. But we'll see how things mature out with all the new cities going on. I think it'll be a fun time.
Hey Barry, speaking of the void that you guys have talked, I talked to my VIP about a 3-nation void, and they brought it up to the developers. Whether they take it or not, I don't know, but they're bringing it to the developers and see if they'll implement it.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Void's always only 2 nations against each other.
Oh, you're talking about the 3-nation thing?
Yeah, I brought that to VIP. Yeah, they brought it to their developers, and they're gonna see if they want to do it or not. But that would be awesome.
I've got a question for you guys as well, with maybe some changes you guys want to see in Void. I play this other game called Whiteout Survival, and they do a Void style game once a month. But instead of fighting cities or things like that, you go and fight for capital battles, and whoever wins that capital battle, it's kind of like global conquest, but with 2 nations. But instead, you get that nation's presidency for 2 weeks. and they would change how those buffs are worked for the
So
president.
it's like the same thing as like State of Survival and those type of games, then, from what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Personally, I think the only problem with Void is they brought out those sissy ass Void potions where a no loss event no longer, truly becomes no loss, or a loss event. You take less of a loss, you can buy your way, back to getting troops and all that. Kind of takes some of the fun out of it.
100%.
But you got to have money.
Yeah, it is expensive.
A 3-nation void would be fucking absurd. Yeah. Absolutely absurd.
I think they would definitely have to update their server to do that, because it'd be like a GC, but for 24 hours.
But they also need to fix the server stability, because as Marcus said, I think I turned on light mode, turned on graphics, and I was still crashing about every other fight I was in.
Well, I mean, the game crashes for me switching between accounts, so yeah, I can only imagine GC and beyond.
Well, I mean, look at all those other voids that they have when you first start, and the game's all laggy and whatnot, and all of a sudden you go contact them, and all of a sudden they push one button and it's fine. So they have the power and the technology to do it. It's just whether they're going to do it or not.
I don't think they'll ever be able to run that type of a fucking server. Too cheap. This is like barely able to even run a fucking regular server for 2 nations. And they struggle with GC. Like, GC crashes every time.
I'll say on PC it does not. I did crash one time.
Yeah, but who the hell wants to play on PC? Like, you know how hard it is to play on the PC?
That's
so,
argument.
It's so slow, like, so slow.
No, you're right.
Solve the T4 issue.
Facts. Definitely. The T4 issue is always going to be a problem. I don't think it'll ever get fixed, to be honest. I think we'll always be dealing with that forever.
They just have to make Titans and Warplane work, so they can't do it.
They can't. Cause it'll just mess up the scoring situation for like actual fighters as well.
Yeah, you would think that male Titan Electric, with going up against T4s, it would eliminate them all in one hit, because they do it to all the single ones.
Yeah, but even being T4, you got to remember, like, some of these cities that are just like our main cities that they're using T4 with, and their stats are still good. It's not like they're absolute trash cities that are doing it. Like, they still got good HP.
That is true.
Having all that HP definitely will help. Like let's say fucking Marcus were to fucking hit somebody with just Titan's Warplane and T4 troops. Like, that shit's still gonna hurt. It's gonna be super annoying. Like, trying to go up against a gold plane and fucking borderline max Titans. Fuck that. Fuck that.
I can only imagine how are they even, against a max Titan or max plane or whatnot, how are T4s even scoring any points? You know what I mean? I mean, there's such a huge difference. How are they even scoring points off of it?
I mean, it's just a matter of like the luck. I would feel like you get like anybody can kill like some troops. You know what I mean? Any person, doesn't matter if you're a farm, you're gonna like, you try to hit a farm, you're still gonna hit some troops. I mean, max cities, probably not. You probably fucking walk away with no losses at all, not even any wounded, because you're just too fucking powerful. But like cities where it's like, let's say like a fucking Hamiko, like going into like a trap of like 7 or 8 guys. No offense, Hamiko, but like going in there and like they got some solid Titans and a bunch of T4, like it's gonna hurt her a bit.
I've actually run into a T4 trap like that, and it's bad.
It's
really
painful.
bad. And this is
Spain.
why I hate T4s. I don't like that shit. I don't support that shit. No. It's a disgrace in the game. And that's because I fell for one of those. It's horrible.
I think the worst thing about it is if they would win, the worst thing about it is that they go out, oh, well, we won. It's like, yeah, you won off T4s. I mean, is that something you should really be proud about?
Exactly. And Nat had the audacity to say that to me, like, oh, we won. Like, I'll be like, they didn't win, but they won me like on, I guess like they ranked high. One of them ranked higher than me. And I'm like, your alliance literally defended a City 36 with T4s. All of you, even Young went in there with T4s. Like and that's the one that I'm complaining about. And I hate T4s.
Yo. Oh my god!
But I have to say, when we fought 299, there was one guy, a C33, that just played with T4s, and every once in a while he'll add his regular troops in, and he did a good job. He scored like 800 points in the killing event, or 800 million in killing event. He was leading like the whole time until we were able to find some targets.
I heard a rumor Chicken did GC with all T4s. Is that true, Chicken? Can you confirm?
I can confirm that's not true.
T4 are awesome. I don't know what you guys are all talking about.
Polo, you know you're lying your ass off. What the fuck?
Yeah, I probably hate T4 more than anyone.
All right, so Polo, since you're here now, you are actually on a list of topics with your little Elite War situation. What's the deal with that, man? Tell me all about it.
That's nothing.
idea.
Raz just loves to troll people. So I declared what I thought was his alliance at 343 die 2 weeks ago when he tried to say snipers are amazing. And he apparently is acting today like he doesn't care about Elite War. Half a UBN beat 343 die in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's not Raz's original nation.
Yeah, I don't know these things.
I mean, his original is much weaker anyway, so it's pretty irrelevant.
Well, I'll still declare the weaker nation too.
I don't know if you'll be able to get them. I believe they're like 160 on the rank. That's what you're saying this morning.
I'll find a way. I'll ask Vip Rep.
You guys have to take some flops. Drop your rank real quick, and then move back up after.
We'd have to lose like 20 times.
We'll drop from 7 to like 100.
There you go. You have to do it, but I'll gladly challenge you. I'll help you drop your rank if you need it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
It looks like right now, freaking Raz and Lee got her going at it in the other room.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh man.
There's gonna be a lot of name calling there.
Yeah. Well, I know like when 373 did that to the Lee guy, he had like immediately requested Void and he got it and he ran all over 373.
I mean, I feel for him a little bit on that. Like, I mean, the dude's literally gotten to GC a bunch of times, has yet to be able to pull it off. Like, every single time he makes it there's always a deal being made. And, like, it's rough for him. Like, he's literally just had bad luck. Like, awful luck.
Yeah,
like,
I feel bad for that. I honestly thought they were going to take it.
You thought 425 was going to take it for this one?
I honestly... like when we were in the preliminaries and the semis, I was like, man, I hope they get it. I thought they were going to take it.
I got respect for 425, but there was way too many merge nations for them to take it. And I said that right at the jump too. I was like, I don't see it happening. Like I said, it was what I even said it was going to be either 379, 299, or that was going to either take it for this one right at the start.
Well, when I said that, it was way before I knew any of that shit.
I mean,
I've been in 736 for so long that I don't even remember. I don't get to see who's in your guys' stuff anymore.
Lead God would have had to put up in terms of spending. If he were to win that, he would have had to put up 5x some of us would have had to spend to be able to win that.
For which nation?
in my opinion. 425.
Oh, you know, they would
And
have to spend a shit ton for it. Absolutely. With all the activity that you get with a merged nation, it would have been like nearly impossible.
you know, the fact that they even, I will tell you right now, the fact that they put down 333, I was not expecting. The fact that what they did to 333, I'll give mad props to that. In semis.
Oh, all right. I was like, 333 was in it? I forgot about them.
Yeah, they were
Damn.
with 429, 425, 333. I don't know who the third nation was, but they came out and absolutely smacked 333.
That's fucking nuts. How, I didn't even know 333 has a good merger. They're actually doing really well.
Well, they merged with 316, so they merged with Top. So they merged with Meter and his crew.
That's a good merger, actually.
And 333 was originally 217. 217 had some big spenders, but they never had their shit together. Disorganized. They didn't work together. I don't know how they did in 333, but I never saw them really come together and, you know, bring all their bigs together. If they could change that, then yeah, they could be good. If not, then this is going to be the same. Like 246, a bunch of big spenders playing separately.
Oh, and any Elite War stuff. So, Polo, I'll gladly take the ass whooping. For
I'm
now,
not going to declare on you guys again.
But we're coming. We'll come. One day we'll get you.
Sounds good, man. Declare on us, though, so I don't have to waste a declare.
So Dies got some activity. Am I gonna have to come back for you guys in Elite Wars?
I'm not going to say how many of them were there. I won't blast them like that.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, when I came on, I was late coming on, so I saw we had at least 50 plus on.
Damn.
I'll say it, at least 50 plus. Normally we're 70 plus in our Elite Wars.
To be fair, we got our ass handed to us so quickly on that one. I didn't even get to join that one.
Would they just like walk straight through you?
Well, I mean, they're an alliance with 5.6 billion BP. And they're more freshly merged than us in terms of activity. I mean, you saw it in there, and they're older than us as well.
Yeah, most of us are from 234. We went to 269 because of 69. You know, we just, you know.
And were you guys a 2 merge or a 3 merge?
Our first merge was 3. It was 234, 265, 269. And the second merge was just one other nation.
And that was Chicken's nation, right?
Yeah, that was Chicken.
Yeah, 2 really strong nations. Just Chicken here?
Yeah, Chicken's here.
Hola.
A fucking Chicken. I can't believe you left the game, you fucker.
He's still around, and he'll be back.
He'll be back. Everybody comes back.
He's not going anywhere.
He's just waiting for the next big thing.
I'm trapped in Polo's basement. Nope.
Yeah, he's got the red rubber ball in his mouth.
Is he feeding cocaine?
Oh no, he doesn't get any of that until he comes back.
Polo.
Hey.
I think you want me gold? I thought I was gonna get in the basement.
What was that?
I got the gold.
Who's talking? Someone cut out?
That was
You keep cutting out, Hamiko.
What?
You keep.
No.
She must be talking to somebody.
No, I was asking Polo that he. I bet for 269 to win global, and they did, so I got gold. So I have enough gold to come in the basement.
Yeah, that pays the entry fee.
There you go.
All right.
Also, too, with that Elite War, only reason why Polo even declared on us was because of Raz. So
Yeah, that's my bad. I thought that was his main nation.
nope, 374 is his.
Yeah, he just talks so much shit. I just can't read all of it.
Damn. So 343 took a fucking L due to Raz.
Yeah, like half a UBN just like slowly marched down from base to base.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we were transferring alliances for GC. 269 won yesterday, and a bunch of UBN had to move in and out.
And you guys took the win, yeah, for GC?
Yeah.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. We had to beat 255, 114, and 285. Everyone was really good.
God damn. That was STM, right? And
yeah, STM, Baby Oracle, Devil, Silent Cut and 285 with Lumberg, and 114 has a bunch of monsters. BBB, real good alliance. Of a bunch of strong mid-range players.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we were talking about in our nation. That 269, doesn't have the big whale, and you guys still won and beat really strong nations.
Yeah, we have the secret ingredient.
It's possible. It is very possible. If you have the numbers, you can fucking win. I mean, it's really solely based off of GC for numbers. When it comes down to it, it's like if you have like a solid group of guys that are just in there and ready to play at all times, yeah, no, you're gonna be all right. I don't think a whale is always necessary in GC. It's amazing to have one, absolutely amazing to have one, but a whale is not necessary entirely. Like, I mean, I'm literally one of those nations that never had a whale and been able to actually participate at high levels.
Watch Nikki's live stream on her YouTube of our GC. You'll see how UBN did it against all these other nations with huge whales.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I want to know how the fuck y'all did it.
Money.
Money. So no whales, just a lot of money. Fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think like whales they're mainly used for like when they lose the towers, they go in there right away to weaken it up. So when the big fleets come, half the troops are already gone.
Yeah, but not much a whale can do when 100 UBN are speeding constantly.
No, there is nothing you can do. And that's something right there, what you just said. With these newer nations, with all these whales, they have to realize that.
Yeah, they'll get rocked. Unless they have a big support cast, A whale is nothing without the support cast.
Support cast is definitely fucking huge. And I don't know, 343, you guys say you don't have a whale. You guys have some solid guys, bro. Like Knuckles.
Well, Knuckles has been gone. Knuckles has been gone for 6 months.
Yeah, but his city's still ridiculously strong.
Well, 100%.
Like, I wouldn't count him out as not he's like semi-whale. His city, at least. He may not be pumping.
That city is not as strong as it used to be.
It's probably not as strong as it used to be, but it's definitely still holding.
It's like Dallas said. Like, all these whales are maxed out. Like, they're not growing anymore at some point. Like, people end up catching up. So, like, that's why Camel brings out all these new things, because they're not getting stronger. Like, you're getting stronger, I'm getting stronger. Everybody's catching up to Knuckles' city or bypassing it. Like, at some point, like, these whales, they get caught up to at some point too.
Yeah, of course.
There's also
I remember the Knuckles.
I want to shout out. I know not a lot of you guys like him, but I'm going to shout out right now. Shout out to Raz for coming in. He didn't have to come in and spend, but that man came in, spend, and did what he did. I would like to shout out Raz for that. That man's a G. As much of a troll he is, I will give him mad props for coming into 343 and helping us and spending.
Oh, yeah, Braz will always help another nation in GC, and he'll go all out. I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. He definitely will do that. Um, like he did it for 425. He's done it from 357. He did it for you guys this time. You know, if his nation doesn't make finals, believe it or not, he's going to be in some kind of finals.
Who? Led?
No, Raz.
Oh,
Raziel.
Raz. And finals for GC.
Yeah, he played in finals. He played in semifinals with us, and he came in and spent. He came in and did what he did. He played well. He played fantastic for us. I will give mad props. He came in, spent with us, had fun with us.
Dang.
I will
Nice.
say on the topic of whales, I find it interesting. We don't necessarily have one, yeah, but I feel like we kind of in 343 rock the underdog story. Like we may not have one massive spender like a lead god or pool rat or Marcus, but we've got enough that try to keep up and contend, and we work on our stats as a group and as a partnership, and I think we kind of kick some ass with it. And like the hit on Marcus, yeah, sure, it took 63 of us to take down his fucking 13 million troops, and he didn't have his gold plane, and he didn't have his Titans. He was handicapped in the game, crashed or whatever, but I mean, we still killed fucking 8 million troops as just an alliance. So it goes to show you that even if you are a whale and you're spending thousands on the game, it doesn't mean you're not safe. You're never safe.
Oh, there's a couple cities that are safe.
Yeah, I mean, Kaya
Kaya
kicked our ass. We tried to hit her in the end, and even with her handicap, we still got our asses handed to us. But being a whale doesn't always mean you can't be killed.
No, that's definitely true. I mean, look, I don't know why like everybody's getting upset over global. Like global is not what global used to be. Because I remember been there twice, and 357 won both those times. There's obviously going to be allegiance somewhere. Like it is what it is. Like I just don't understand why people get so mad, knowing going into global like there's gonna be some backhand dealings. Like it was obvious, or whether there weren't any. Like we have friends in this game in different nations that we're probably gonna help or not help, subconsciously or not. Like, but I just don't understand. It's a game. Like, why are people so butthurt over a freaking game? Like, to be
And a
honest,
strategy game at that time. Like,
no,
it's also
but to
literally
me,
a
it's like,
strategy game.
but for me, it's like this isn't sports. Like, this isn't like your true skills against someone else's true skills. Like, this is in a sense who has spent more, who has more activity, and that's it.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. People will get upset when they spent. I mean, people will get upset when they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a game.
But that's on them. That's the choice they made when they played the game. Like that's the choice I make every day.
I haven't spent that much money, and I have a blast every time. Win or lose, I'm having a good ass time with my team. It doesn't matter. And why? Because I'm not dropping $100,000 to lose. I spend $50 and we won. Like that's fucking like. I don't know why people get so fucking butthurt over a game and then get mad because they drop so much money or whatever. It's like, well, then stop wasting your money.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. I can tell you that I was not upset about losing the global.
No, right? I can definitely see that about Marcus because like I don't think he ever like he gets hit and he's like, yeah, I got hit. It is what it is. Like I think Marcus generally always be like, hey, good shit. Like that's it. I mean, I think Polrad was more mad about it than anything because I never see Marcus ever get upset about certain things, and if he does, he'll just with you.
I just called them out after round one, and then there was all this negativity from 343 against against us, and I was like, what the fuck? That's where I got upset. I wasn't upset about losing. I mean, I expected 299 to win, but I was hoping that everybody would fight for themselves. Like that would have been a lot more fun if 299 was having to defend against 343 as well. Like what would the results would have been a little bit closer or lots of what ifs. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Marcus is right. Like, this is probably their best chance to win it. Like, I know exactly what Marcus is going through because I've been there twice. One when 357, and obviously at that time it was 366 for real young, and then Ram. So it was like, I know that feeling. You go in there. I think those are probably the best times I've had in Global Conquest. Was like the first or two times that, because it was every nation trying to win it, but now it's kind of like you go into it. To me, it's kind of unfair because you're going into it and there's already a couple merged nations. And you're like, this is kind of bullshit. Like, I've been through that 3 times now, where it's like, why am I even playing global? It happened with 290. It happened this time around, and I think one before that, where I got paired up with like 285 was the first nation, and my nation was the last nation in that globe. I'm like, what am I doing fighting these globe fours? Like, this makes no sense. And we made it to the semis, but it was like, at the semis, there was no point. We were gonna get beat.
That's on Camel, then. That's not.
No,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think global for me has lost its touch. Do I want to win it? 100%. But I think it's lost its touch since the first couple times I fought in it, because I felt like every nation was really trying to win it, and they had a chance to win it. It was just about strategy and activity.
That's the same thing with Void now, because I hate T4s. T4s is
They're ruining the game.
I mean, as much as T4s like ruin the experience, like it doesn't really impact the results that much. It's frustrating to having to speed and do all that and waste just to hit a T4 city, but it's not going to really impact the result of the void.
Yeah, I agree. Like, a 394 was damn like a T4 nation, and we went head to head with them. But now I know that for me, knowing if it's a T4 nation or they use it a lot, like, I'm gonna go hard on recruiting, because I'm not gonna give you a chance to just use your T4s. Like, I'm gonna force you to come out and fight now, like, because then you can't use T4s anymore. So that's like one of my strategies now. Like, recruit hard and force them to fight.
That is a good point.
And not only that, recruit hard to have a lead so that you can just kill all their T4s without caring.
But then again, it doesn't give you the same satisfaction. I mean, if you go hit a
I'm
C30,
very satisfied by killing like 10 million T4 in a nation that does that.
Fair enough. But if you're like if your goal is to hit a C38, and I mean, granted, not many of them are going to have nothing but T4 in their city, but they have like 4 million T4, and you kill all 4 of those 4 million, you're still not going to get any points. So where does it help you? Because they're going to get points for it, because their averages in terms of, especially some of the stronger C38s out there are going to have high averages, so they can get points out of those T4 attacks that you guys hit. Rather it be minimal, but I mean, points are still points at the end of the day.
I think the issue that I see with the T4 nowadays, since those towers came out for Frenzy, is when they sit on the fucking towers. Because those towers really could have been like a fun addition to actually go head to head when you're facing a bubble nation. But now, I mean, half the alliances that sit on the towers are just sitting there with T4.
Yeah, but you don't
So
have
it's
to.
not about, I mean, I don't really give a fuck if I hit a city with T4. Sure, that's a waste. But the towers were like finally a fun Frenzy edition, and now it's kind of ruined already.
Yeah.
When you do pull those point two, you don't have to hit the towers, but that's what when we fight nations, that's what we'll organize. We'll organize tower attacks.
Well, those tower attacks is kind of like what makes it really fun. To know that you can grab 40, 50 people and attack them, and they'll rain and whatnot, and the points are equal in those towers. They're not like
Exactly.
That's what's making it fun. But when T4s are used in those towers, I mean, I agree with you guys that they're. I just hate fighting T4s. They take the fun of the game. I mean, yeah, they suck. They suck.
I mean, the C38 you hit during your last void, and you took out 3 million troops, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
It was like
that's the point of Void.
Yeah.
To watch somebody basically will essentially quit the game at some point when you end a city like that. Like that's the best part about this game.
It's
in
like,
my opinion.
and those people that do make a mistake like that, they learn. Like they learn that there's a point to where you got to have a certain amount of BP before you can just walk around unbubbled or unbubble in front of a fucking monster. That was a mistake that person learned right there.
I mean,
Yeah, I just feel like
Oh.
people need to use like Globe 4 or 5, whatever. Well, I'm Globe 5. We need to use Frenzy to strategize for Void. That's how I look at Frenzy now. Like Frenzy has lost its like touch for me. Like I used to like it. Now I honestly use it. Okay, how many cities does it take to burn me? Does it 20? Is it 30? Like, not that I do it like stupidly, but it was like, okay, I need to know like what's my safe spot. Like where do I need to be? Like in a sense, how fast can my team rain me? Like we use it as a test now, not necessarily as a like. I don't know. I don't care about friends anymore. Like I used to want to win everything, but to me, it's now Void and Global. Like I want to win Global, but I have to have the right merger, hopefully, and then go from there. Like,
yeah, 100% on that V time. We also use so I mean because we don't have. I mean, we have some strong cities, but we're not like. I would say we're not. I would say upper echelon in terms of strong cities where we have whale after like where we have whales that can just go and spend and spend and spend. So we have to teach our alliance certain ways on how to keep our average high, whether it's we keep our attack averages high, whether we know what we have to do to what is it? Like stats wise, keep averages high, keep our reductions high, keep all of our damage against the high enough to where in Frenzy, we've organized a few battles, one with Mitch over at 406, one with Micus at 326. We've organized 351. And then even with, we didn't get the chance to organize with 379, but I mean, we had some strong, really strong tower battles with them. And that just gives us a sense of where we stand. And then as we continue to get stronger and stronger, whether we one day where we'll be able to fight certain nations toe to toe. I mean, I don't think we're not at the point where we can go fight like 219 or 52 because with how old they are. But we can definitely, I would say about 75% of the nations, no, more like 80-85% of the nations we can stand toe to toe against because we've built our cities to be able to withstand certain attacks, and we play for that. So we, especially with the towers, like I said, we use the towers to see where we stand against certain alliances.
Yeah, and 343 is special in that sense where like you guys have good because we faced you guys. But, and I mean, we have some big spenders in my nation, but we definitely have 4 or 5 cities that like can cause a lot of damage. And we're trying to see in a sense now, like what those 5 cities can do against maybe a 20 rain, 30 rain, like tower, attack, stuff like that. So, no, but I mean, I feel you guys, like you guys do not have, like, you guys used to have that old, like, Baba's old account. Like, that used to be a mega spender. Well, then he left. So it's kind of left you guys were, like, be more of a teamwork. But I think that's what makes your nation good. Like, that's what made 372 good. Like, we didn't want to depend on 5600. We're like, no, he kills a lot in the beginning. Like, we were like, okay, like, we need your help. But then we started realizing, like, we can't win going forward like this. Like, we have to do teamwork. So I'm all about teamwork for sure. Like, and like I said, we fought 394. They had activity. Like, it was almost like 24 for 24 in one attack, and we outpowered them. So it was just kind of like, it kind of shows you also, like, if you do have those spenders, like, that makes a huge ass difference.
What if, like, GC, you know how you can always see who you're going to face or whatnot. What if GC was set like this? You can't see your opponent or who it's going to be. Like, let's say your opponent
just get in and fight.
Yeah, like, let's say your guys' bracket fights another bracket, and like, I mean, not ridiculously like you guys go fight 52 bracket. No, not like that, because there's different brackets, and even in your own globe, in your area of that globe. But if you fight like one globe's bracket, not knowing who it is, I think that would pull more people into the GC, and there'll be less plans to sabotage another nation or something like that.
Well, I mean, see, but wouldn't we want to know though? Because our goal, I mean, yes, we can have beef between certain nations, but when it comes time, we want to know when we're gonna face a lock nation, right? So, like, if I'm gonna go fight 442 and Grandpa, I want to know if I'm gonna fight them, because if they're gonna show up 250 each round, like, I want to make sure my alliance is prepared to be able to do that, to be able to fight them.
Oh, they
and
do.
Whether or not
they do.
So, like, if they're going, and like you've said, and I've seen it when the global finals between 429, 442, 425. I can't remember the fourth nation, but 250 every round, and you got to come in knowing you're going to have to spend a lot more, or just not. Like, that could also be, it could be motivating or demotivating as well.
So in finals, you're 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fight a lock nation. Unless the older nations, they don't fight them, because of the point that there was no lock nations back in the days. I think the lock nations started happening at what, like in the 400s.
400s is when
The
lock
400s.
nations
So the older nations will never see them, or at least for now. But don't be surprised when they take 442 and merge them with 457, and then they put up against 269. I could see Campbell doing something like that. And I tell you, that would be a tough match, even for the older nations, because those guys are monsters. Like,
I think that would be the best matchup, to be honest with you. That'd be, because like they're still messy. Like, people forget Chinese lock nations are messy. I love them because you will hit something. So you're gonna
no. In Void they're messy, but in GC they are organized.
Yeah, but when you've got people like, 52 has a bunch of really good nations. So does 30. So does 1. So does 2. So you're gonna get into those nations, right? And they're gonna want to show these lock nations what's up. Like, lock nation, and if they're not gonna put they might put 2 lock nations together, but when you've got nations with Boogie, Simple Jack, people like that they're going to want to show what these lock servers what they're about. So they're going to be motivated to spend.
I absolutely agree with you. And like Bodizi's in here, he just got in and he fought that lock nation, right next to Great One. And I think if they took 442 and they merged it with 457, or even 528, they would be competitive against the older nations if they merged them together.
They would absolutely smash any old nation if those 2 nations got merged together. I mean, it would just be completely unfair to everybody else. The amount of participation, the amount of strength, the amount of big cities, it just unrealistic.
Absolutely agree. And I know, like, the older nations, I get it, guys. You guys got a shitload of C38s, 41s, and shit like that. But until you go up against these guys, like, they put it this way, they all had 39s and 41s and 38s going up to the towers and shit like that, and they still had 38s going to the energy sources in the background. Like, they came in balls deep. Excuse my language, Barry. I apologize.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Plus, it's 250 players from both nations every single round of GC. Like, they were just bringing people, so they would be looking at 250 of their best players. It's kind of unrealistic. We were straight burning them, just nonstop. And those guys were still sending full fleets. They still had heals. They still had everything. They were still speeding. Like, those guys, they were ready for GC.
So
one other
I mean,
one.
also too, like how many? If we're talking about cities deep, so do you think they had 250 C-38s to C-41s all in there, just
Put
going at it?
put it this
Were
way.
they all loaded up?
Put it this way, from what I witnessed, okay, when 567 burned out the people and they ran out of heals, they would leave the match and bring a new guy in. They had people on the sidelines like it was a football game, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Not 425. 524 and 567. They held their own. They held their own.
Bodizia, who ended up winning that? The Lock Nation?
Yeah. 442. So 442 ended up teaming up with another Lock Nation 528, and it was 567 and 524. So it was basically 2 versus 2. But I mean, those guys, they had so many more people. They had so many more width in terms of, big city levels, higher troop tiers. They also, like, their medium spenders, they had close to a year of growth compared to us. We were just blowing kind of everything. Like the gold, the heals, the everything was pretty, like the usage was pretty insane. But, we fell slightly short of getting 524 to first. It was a 4,000 point difference.
Did y'all attempt to like help 524 if you guys realized like you couldn't take it?
Wait, what?
Did you guys attempt to help 524 if you guys knew you guys couldn't take
Oh,
it?
no. We went, like, even before GC. It was already like the game plan was already laid out.
Oh, so
Like,
you guys
we
knew
knew,
to team up.
yeah, we knew exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be helping them. I mean, here's the deal. 567 is under 5 billion national BP. We have zero chance of winning it. We have the, good activity. We have, people that can speed nonstop for 3 hours. We have people that have heals to be able to do that, but we can't cover the area. And 442 was like 14 billion BP. 528 was like 9 or something. So the math, when it was 2 against 2, it was 23 billion to 13 billion.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, per player we outplayed them, but I mean, we couldn't cover everything because those guys, they kept healing, they had troops, and they just covered like everything. So it was a complete, speeding nonstop from both sides for 1.5 hours, per round. But they also had a round that they were able to do, that they were able to max in the second round, and that's a round we normally, like U.S. based nations, they don't push. So
God damn. And 524 just couldn't hold everything too. 'Cause, I mean, it's surprising though. I figured they'd be able to hold their own. They're like usually a lot of fucking spenders there.
well, don't underestimate 442, right? I mean, those guys are like strong, and like I mentioned earlier, they also have approximately a year on us, right? So like the medium spenders that we have that are like C36s, that are like C35s, they would be like C37s, C38s in a year. Plus you have to look at the actual mergers. We got merged, so we have 3 nations in ours. 524 has 3 nations in ours. 528 has 8 nations in theirs, and 442 has what, like 12 or so.
What?
So it's fairly difficult to compete with just the size, like the sheer size and the width of the nation.
So at like a year ago, their merger, if I recall, Lumber's sheets, they were merged 9 times. That was a year ago. I don't know if they've been merged since, but I mean, it's a possibility. I left the game for 6 months, so I mean, within that 6 months, anything could have happened. So, yeah.
I don't think they were merged since then, but the Chinese nations, especially in our globe, they had 4 nation mergers, right? So 5 to 8, the first merger had 4 nations, and they just recently remerged again, which also paired them with a nation that had 4 nations in it. So if you look at 442, I'm sure they also had 4 nations, 4 nation mergers as well, and they had what, two mergers. So that's quite a bit of nations all pulled in one.
I think when I said 9 mergers, let me rephrase that. 9 nations were in there. I didn't mean to make it sound like they've had like 3 nations 9 different times. No, it was like, so 9 nations a year ago were merged into it multiple times.
Fucking hell, that's just so cheap.
Well, I mean, look at 1018. They've just got their merger, and they've only been playing for 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks now.
Yo, that shit's crazy. Imagine playing for like a month and getting a merger. Is there even C30s yet in there?
So we didn't even have Capital Wars after a month. Like,
Yo.
what?
What the fuck?
They get their first kill event. Oh, well, you guys get merged.
That shit's nuts.
You got to think about this too. They're always in civil war, and the reason they're always in civil war is because they got so many people in there that they got to fight for the resources.
Fuck, man. Fuck that. I feel like that would be so hectic to deal with a merger, like, without even knowing how to play the fucking game. Playing for like a month, bro. Like, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing, and now you're dealing with a merger.
And right when you get your whole merger all settled, you get merged again.
Like, what the fuck? That just sounds wild to me.
Yeah, well, those lock nations, they do that. I actually asked my VIP why they did that before, and they say, well, because of the lack of people that they have per nation, that they have to merge them. I don't know about that.
That's baloney. That's a whole load of baloney. When you've got 250, when you've got 442 coming in with 250 every round, and get 9 mergers, I think that's a load of
shit.
Crock of shit.
Yeah, a load of shit.
My personal opinion is that they're making these super nations so they can fight other mega nations. I mean, those lock nations, they have a lot of pride, and they want to go up against the best. So maybe that's their whole goal. I don't know.
I don't know, but these new mergers coming up are maybe looking good. But the last few ones, besides this one, were looking awful. This one's...
Oh, Barry, congrats on your merger. Also, everyone that got merged, congrats. I hope all the other people that haven't merged yet, especially in the 300 worlds, get a good merger. So you guys, I'm looking for all the fun fights here in the upcoming months. So I'm out of here. Pleasure having me.
Thank you, General. Fucking hell. Yeah, but no, the mergers is gonna be fucking crazy. I'm excited to see how it goes. 320 got their merger. That's gonna be fucking exciting to see. How is that going, Rexy, by the way? If you're here, I'd definitely love to hear about how 320 and 356 are going.
Yo. Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah.
Going good so far.
Everybody moved to 1?
Well, by good, I mean it's peaceful.
It's peaceful? Well, that's good. That's always a good fucking sign.
Yeah, I was talking about this, I don't know, a couple days ago on Woody's podcast. We're still in 3 main alliances, unfortunately. We've got the top 2 from from 320, and then the 356 had a super alliance that they had all merged into, and so that's a standalone alliance. I like day one, I learned about this merger, and I immediately just reached out to Joker, and I was like, we've got to create a super alliance. We got to do this. And I think maybe I came on a little too strong. And so it's unfortunately not going to happen right away, but we'll see. We'll see where the chips fall. I mean, we haven't had an event yet other than Chaos Land.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've got two absolute whales in JGX and Junie. And those guys are just absolute monsters. They equal 15 players each. So I mean, I'd love to merge up fast and LTD, their alliance, and then even HFU's got some really strong, talented players in it. We have all the we've got the right activity, we've got the right strength in 320 now, but R5's like being R5.
God damn. So in the future, why for the future for GC, why'd you guys choose 320?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I was partial to it. I mean, I think everyone gets attached to their nation. They get attached to their number, especially 320. I'm originally from 320. We got our first merger with 297 and 310. We stayed 320. We fought for it in Chaos Land. And when this one was coming up, we chatted about it. There's a small difference between us. I think there's only 3 or 4 nations between us, between 320 and 356. There's not a huge difference, but we are in different globes. So by that metric, there potentially could be a larger difference. And I eventually, came around to it and was okay with going to 356. But we held a vote. We held a vote at FAS, and I even tried to load the deck. And we asked all the alliance members what they wanted to do. And it was overwhelmingly in favor of keeping 320. So you got to listen to the players. And then the other alliances, whether or not they admit it, they in 320, they agreed to it because they all, we formed a super alliance in Chaos Land. I think there were like 80 of us who fought in round 1 of Chaos Land and just smoked at everyone who entered. Jeez. So I don't know. I know there's some hard feelings from 356 who's thinking, we should have moved up, and I get that, but at the end of the day, it's honestly not going to make a huge difference. I mean, 320 has only fought a few nations older than us since we started doing Void War. Almost all the nations we've fought are younger than us. We've been
Void War. Void War, you're gonna face whoever you face. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what globe you are in. I'm talking more so for GC.
Yeah, I mean, we're younger than 299. We were in that bracket.
Yeah. I mean, 299.
I think they shot themselves in the foot because Koreans don't they're all about respect and all that stuff, their culture and stuff. They might not ever go into Rexy's alliance. I can see JGX and Junie being petty like that. Look how long it took them to get into Joker's alliance. The only reason they did is because Joker's actually Korean, so you can actually communicate with them and can come from that angle. That's the worst part, because JGX and Junie do not even listen to Joker because they are whales. So they're like, we don't need you. We could do this ourselves if we wanted to. That's the part that's gonna suck.
Yeah, and it's all it is frustrating, right? Because you see the 100%. Potential that's there, but that's been the game since day one. I mean, that's really been, and that's what everyone faces. There's only a few nations where everyone puts it aside and gets together. This is why I was trying so hard to have a merger in the beginning, because it seems like at the end of every nation, right when you're going towards a merge, everyone seems to get together, and you're so strong. It was why couldn't we do that on day one? we would have absolutely dominated. It's fun to win. People wouldn't leave. And, I tried really hard just to get us all to merge. And on day one, and I think I tried too hard. I probably turned some people off. But, who knows? I mean, we'll probably merge in a year and a half just before our next merger.
Rexy, you're absolutely wrong for about what you just said. If you don't merge them right off the bat, and it's a year from now, they're never going to come. 373 is learning this right now, and Ram said, "Hey, no, you guys can stay there. We'll just take in some people here and there." Don't let that happen. If the longer you let them sit in a different alliance, you're never going to unite.
Yeah, I agree with Woody on that. I think getting people on the same page quickly is
Tell me how
important.
to do it. Tell me how to do it.
Have you talked to Joker?
Yeah, we talk every day.
What's his thoughts on everything? Is he's trying to push for a merge, right? Like a super alliance?
So the sticking point is Joker wants to remain R5, and the FAS R5 wants to remain R5.
So that's the issue at hand?
So it's a problem of egos.
To be honest with you, if you're gonna get 2 mega whales in your lines, I would give up R5. 2 seconds. You got it. Go for it. I got 2 mega whales.
You're not getting a bad leader in it. Joker's a good dude, solid guy, trustworthy in terms of being an R5. I would say. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming the sticking point isn't really him wanting to be the R5. It's more so probably JG and Junie wanting him to be the R5.
Yeah, I think that's.
No, they're JGX and Junie aren't R5. It's Joker.
Joker, yeah, I know Joker. I'm saying JG and Junie probably want Joker still as R5. That's probably the issue.
That's right. That's right. And so here's the other thing: FAS is uniquely Japanese. So there are a ton of Japanese players in FAS, and they're strong. We've got some really strong, dedicated players, and they're good. They're fun. They're fun to play with. But let's say, for example, I left and I joined LTD, and I'm like, everyone come follow me. The majority of the players wouldn't follow.
Yeah.
Someone's got to go on mute.
That's V-time. V-time.
Yeah. There you go. So I mean that's the issue there is it just comes down to pride. Someone's got to give it up, and I don't see anyone doing that. Not yet. But we haven't even played an event yet. So, once you start winning or you start losing, or one side starts dominant, one alliance starts dominating, the other's not putting up points, it can all change.
That's a fair point.
Barry, would you agree that people need to realize that being an R5, I mean, they don't make all the ideas and stuff. I mean, most of your R4s do the work for you, and you're the person that says, okay, yeah, I like that one. This is how it's going to be.
I can tell you in a nutshell what R5 is. R5, for me at least, has been basically more or less in the beginning, it was really leading. I was really basically making all the decisions. I was kind of getting everybody to go in the right places. I was more so militant in that aspect. I was more so trying to get everybody on point with fighting, basically making that. So any decision when it came to fighting was on me. So moving forward, slowly I started progressively teaching the R4s to do what I was doing, to a point where I'm no longer really necessary to be leading. I don't really need to be there for it to run anymore. I don't even need to be R5. R5 for me right now is just basically a face. I mean, I do make this tough calls here and there, but for the most part, I'm really just a face. The face everybody's comfortable with up until Void Day.
R5 is
2 points, guys.
Yeah,
R5 is more headache than anything else. I would never want to be R5. Let the R5 deal with all the whining and stuff, and let me just enjoy the game. But the other question is about the Super Alliance, right? So if you got 2 active alliances, with strong players, are you hurting yourself by just creating one super alliance and that second alliance then becomes a little bit less useful? So let's say you got 150 players, right, that are very active, and you put everybody into one alliance, then the 50 kind of get left out. Or is it better to have two, top alliances with 75 active players, like in global? It helps to have that second alliance, attack the tower. If you lose it, I don't know what the right answer is, because that's what we're trying to debate in 379 now. Is
Yeah, I think it depends on GC or Void. So if it's Void, I'd take an active alliance of 70 over two active alliances of 50. Because these days in Void, it comes down to a couple big battles. And 50, you might win, but depending on who you play, you need 70 players for those speed attacks.
Yeah.
So
it really comes down to what type of nation do you want. Like, do you want to it's hard to be a Void nation and a GC nation. Like, very hard to be one of those. You have to choose usually now. But I feel like you can be a little bit of both. All right, chicken, we know. I'm trying to model a little bit and figure that how you guys did that, but
lots of cocaine.
Yeah, lots of cocaine. I'm seriously it's a very rare occurrence to see a very good Void nation win a GC. It is a rare occurrence.
No, you're right, because Void and GC, the requirements for doing well in them are completely different.
Exactly. So it's like when you have look at Bodizi. Strictly he's a great he's gonna be a great GC nation because he's a fucking monster. But when it comes down to he's a better Void nation than he is a GC nation.
Explain that further, Barry.
All right, so look at for instance, my nation. Very simple to pre-merge, not fucking not after merge. Let's look at it pre-merge. My nation, no whales, high activity, crazy clean nation. It's built for Void. It's not built for GC. I can't go into a GC and expect a bunch of people to come out and go ham. That's just because I require so much from my guys to make sure that in Void they're good. They're not killing. They're not dying in vain, basically, giving up points. So when they come to GC, they don't really have shit. They have BP limitations. You know what I mean? They don't have excess troops. They'd have to use a lot of heals to be able to go hard in GC. So my nation's built on strictly Void. Because I never had a whale, I was always nervous. I'm not going to be able to win without a whale in GC. It's impossible. I watched Ram take on my freshly merged nation the first time around by himself. Literally by himself. He was shitting on us, freshly merged. So it's if I'm not able to do something like that against a crazy whale like a Ram, there's no way I had a chance in GC going forward unless I just strictly went for Void. So let's just focus on Void.
You guys are a disciplined nation, and you guys play well with what you have, right?
Yes.
And that's probably what limits your chances in global is that, you guys play discipline, you guys are active, but you don't have some of the bigger cities that can compete in global. But you could have a nation that is strong and do well in both Void and global.
But that's
really the question.
That's what we're trying to learn and figure out how to do. Well, now we have a bit more strength. We have a lot more strength now with our recent merger, and we're hoping to be able to make it to a finals and possibly win a finals going forward, which may not be the case, but we're going to attempt for it because now we have the strength and the participation. So we're hoping for it now going forward, but trying to figure out where we can draw the line to be able to not kill off everybody so that way we have more players to play in GC. That's where...
But do you think it's going to hurt you that you have one super alliance now?
No, I don't think it will hurt me at all because we still have a second fighting alliance that will absolutely be strong. It's not going to be weak at all. You're going to think it's strong, it's weak, but you got to remember we gave up a lot of participating players. We gave a lot of those participation players into the second alliance that are still very active. It's not like they're not active. I had to make some tough calls on who I was keeping in day. And so did TOD. They had to do the exact same thing. They had to make some tough calls because they were already a super alliance. Like, their whole globe was merged into TOD. You know what I mean? All their strongest, most active players were there. So we basically both gave up 50 active players and put them in one place. So it's not like they're going to be weak. They're going to be still able to do what Day was doing prior. You know what I mean? Like probably at a similar level, like of where Day was. We're just going to be a lot more stronger than we were. So that second alliance is just imagine having a Day alliance and then a super alliance. That's really what we just made. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I got a question. I got so chicken. So this is how I'm gonna figure this out. Chicken, what was the average VP for like all your cities in global? Was it like 60, 70?
I have no idea. Polo.
Well, because for me, it's like because what Barry said, like when you are a clean nation, your VPs are always going to be small. So you're going to have to heal, and that costs a lot of money. But how many players are really spending on heals like left and right for global? Like that's one of my biggest things where I deal with. Where like, well, do I just keep a higher VP so that way I don't have to heal as much? And then going global, it's like I can save it and then go from there, or because like that's one of the big. If you look at 299, they had BP galore. Like they're not necessarily like, oh, this is the limit and that's it. Like they will defend before they go fight, and in a sense, like where they're more like a defensive team in a sense. I feel unless it's the big players that go together. But I remember watching them fight, and they were good at defending, so they're never losing BP. So going into global, you had cities at 180 BP. Like, yeah, they're gonna have 5 fleets, and they're gonna keep coming at you nonstop. And if you're a clean Void Nation, you're probably going to have 40 million BP. So then you're going to end up spending more gold, more heals, just to try to keep up with them when they don't even have to do that. So like, that's the trade-off I look at all the time. Like, do you really keep BP low and keep it clean? Or like Barry said, like, this is why I feel like he's right, where mostly Void Nations aren't global conquest because you're too clean. You don't have the troops, or you're going to have to spend a crap load to be there.
I think Barry has a real good idea of making those two super alliances because they can fight in round 1 and 3, and that other super alliance can come in round 2 and still gain points, and then come in round 3 to seal the deal. So I mean that's a real good benefit that you were able to make 2 super alliances like that.
It should work. I'm praying that the idea works out well. I'm not 1,000% it will. I'm not set on it, but like I do believe at least in Void will still be a dominant force to play, and I believe that people will be nervous to like port over to 385 solo.
I mean, you're lucky because you had GFX. I mean, they had some of those big Asian cities that weren't part of Day.
Yeah,
so that makes it possible.
Yeah, it makes it possible because not only that is not to be completely harsh on GFX, but there are no loss fighters, you know what I mean? So when it comes down to GC or a Frenzy, they'll come out and they're gonna go hard in. So like when it comes down to GC Day, I'm assuming and praying that they're gonna come out and show out when it comes for GC Day. Like, and that's the sleeper part that I'm hoping for is that's the third alliance. Like there's a third alliance and that's them. So I'm praying that actually benefits me later on in the future. Like it's not going to benefit me right now. It might because they will fight voids. They do put up some numbers. They do have some players that need to be moved around and thrown away. But for the most part, they're very good on their bubbles. They hold their own on that. And they have 2 strong cities in there, 2 or 3 strong cities that will be able to like kind of basically make people a little nervous to go try and bully them. If that makes any sense. Don't all speak at once.
You just killed the chat.
I did.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. It does. Like you have a really good plan there. I think it's going to take maybe 1 GC, maybe 2 for it to be implemented to where everyone in the nation sees it. But that is the ideal plan right there.
It's just at the end of the day, you just have to find a model that works for both of those events. Like it's a lot of trial and error. Like I've seen it happen. Like we all witnessed it for 269. They were able to pull off a win in GC, and they don't have a wheel. They don't have a wheel, and they were able to pull it off. I'm not sure exact. Like I talked with Polo a bit. I'm not sure exactly how they were able to make their world a crazy good Void Nation and a GC Nation, but I will definitely pick his brain and try to catch some ideas.
It was a hit it and quit it. We just went all out in this GC. We won't be doing it again.
No, I mean, but the fact is that you guys were able to still pull it off while being a very good Void Nation, if not one of the best Void Nations out right now.
Yeah, I mean, we beat all the good Void War nations. Right now, 269 is probably hands down the best Void War nation out there, only because we're just so clean. But we still have high BP cities, so that probably helped in global.
Yeah, like similar to what we have right now. We have a lot of high BP cities, but those are in the main alliance or the second alliance. Like those two are all sitting there. So it's like I'm a little nervous. It might work, it might not. We'll see. I'm gonna definitely pick your brain a little bit more and kind of get an idea of what I can do to kind of make this a possibility to be able to win a GC.
Yeah, before GC get with me, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. There's a secret. There's a secret that will almost guarantee you to go far.
All right.
I got a quick question for you guys before I actually got to get ready for work. When it comes to GC, wouldn't it be smart to send your main fleet in once you get the towers, send them back, keep a couple people in there, refresh your troops, and quickly send that next main fleet to restore your troops in there before the next big battle happens?
Yes, every time.
Yeah, that's similar to how I used to play.
There's variations of that you can do. I would do it a little bit differently, but yeah, that's what everyone should be doing. A version of that every time.
Well, the issue is that you got a third alliance attacking you. So as soon as you win your battle, you get 20 left in the towers, and everybody's heading back, and you got a third alliance waiting to hit you, and then the rest of your alliance has to rush back. That's where the disadvantage happens when you're battling two nations or two alliances from a different nation.
That's when it becomes very hard. See, Polo, you guys have two solid alliances, yeah, or is it three?
We're like three, but we ranked everyone and got roll call from everyone, and we put our top 200 in two alliances.
See, all right, see, okay.
1.5.
What happened, Mr. J?
I am just answering Bolo. They have just 1.5 alliance, not 3 as it's. Yes.
He's saying our third alliance sucks.
It sounds like
yes,
Mr. J. Mr. J, where'd you guys finish this go around?
It was 52 versus 269 in the semifinals.
Well, they beat us hard, so
it was more of a coin flip scenario, right, Mr. J?
Yeah.
Don't say this in public, okay?
Yeah.
Mr. J took a book out of the Resistance. A page out of the Resistance book, Mr. J?
I don't speak anything about 52 here, not in public.
All right. Well, guys,
I don't want to scare people who want to join 52. So,
all right. Well, guys, I'm gonna call this a wrap. I gotta start getting ready for a Friendsgiving. So it was great to have all you guys here. I really do appreciate it. Much respect to all you guys, and thank you for everybody that watched this. Appreciate you guys too. Later.